of delight. That's absolutely magnificent. The Ed Rua player, well, he made the score all on his own. Just a second ago, the ball went in. Mark Crossan got it off the line, comes back up again, and Brian Roper, well, sometimes as a substitute you get a chance, sometimes you can take it. Did he take that in style? There's still time left, and Riley has it. Riley under pressure from McGinley, and Riley gets the free. And there's hardly time to draw breath. Riley once more in towards the danger zone. McCabe's there, the ball punched out. Cunningham reacts, he's got Fintan Cahill. He may try to go through. A point mightn't be enough, but he takes it, I think. He gets it. Fintan Cahill gets the score. It may not be enough. Perhaps one of the most difficult choices of the day, the man of the match. Donegal have had so many stars, but Tony Boyle, when leadership was needed, he provided it. He's the man of the match in this Ulster semi-final. Donegal, remember, haven't appeared in an Ulster final in 5 years. And indeed, the whistle goes. They're in the Ulster final for this year. And the Ulster champions are gone. It finished 15 points to 13. Donegal, every one of them a hero. And they're in the Ulster final where they play Derry or Armagh. Very, very worthy winners in Clonus.
Well, Cavan had that one-man advantage for around 60 minutes, but it's Donegal who'll go back to Clonus on the 3rd Sunday in July. Analysis and reaction after the break.
This is Belgium. The roads are straight, the rivers are straight.
All made it through after today's game. Adrian Logan set off in search of relevant comment.
We're off to the worst possible start. And I spoke about getting off to a good start, and as for probably one of the first times that we got off to a bad start, and 3 points down and a man lost after 9 minutes. It was, you know, it was back to the wall stuff. But we came back well, and we had a great period for about 20 minutes before half-time, and I didn't even want to hear the half-time whistle, to be quite honest, because we were playing that well. But we got the lads in at half-time, and we got them ready again for the second half, and they showed great commitment, great heart out there, and that was a great performance, to be quite honest.
I think special mention probably has to go to Michael Oliver, because the fitness of the team was second to none there today. You know, we'd probably went for another 20 minutes if we had to, you know. But at half-time, we probably looked back and we mentioned the 92 final against Derry, where we had to settle it down and not kick away possession. You know, it was vitally important not to kick away possession, you know, and when we lost possession, then get men bodies behind the ball, you know. And in fairness, we stuck to the tactics, and it worked for us in the end.
How often has that happened before, when teams go 14 men down? They actually work harder for each other, and the opposing team, the 15 men, do not do that. You know, the responsibility, you've got to take responsibility when you go, you have the extra man, and I felt that in my own team there, they didn't do that, and they, to a certain extent, lost their way, and I felt at the end, you know, Donegal battled very, very hard, played good football and played very good possession football, and deservedly won.
Well, the refereeing was a discussion point last week. Adrian Logan, same referee today, and a key figure early doors. The sending off, was he right?
Absolutely, perfectly correct. No question about it at all. And the picture showed it very, very clearly. Martin McBride took the decision. It was a correct decision. No credit to Martin Call. It was a high challenge, a dangerous challenge, and the referee took the very, very prompt and correct action. Said in the commentary there, the referee this week had a particularly decent game. He had a good game. He seemed to allow a lot of things flow more in the game, and he seemed to have a better feel for it. And while I felt deserved criticism last week, I think this week he deserves praise. So that's just as simple the way it goes.
In your view, Brian, should others have followed?
We had an incident with, unfortunately, one of the Donegal players at the upper goals where Jim McGuinness, while there was a schmozzle in the upper goals, struck a Cavan player off the ball, and I think the umpire seen it, but to try to bring the referee's attention to it, but he was more intent on getting the row settled, and he hopped the ball on the 21-yard line, and Cavan got a point from it, and everything seemed to go better after that. But Jim kind of lost his cool at a stage in the first half, and it was only probably just before half-time that he found himself again and proceeded to have an excellent game there afterwards.
Ultimately, Paul, a great display by Donegal, but why do you feel it took them so long to find a bit of momentum and rhythm?
Well, I mean, Cavan got off to a great start, and it's, you know, they get it free from the first play of the game, straight from the throw-in. Always is a very good way to settle in. They lost a man very quickly, and you know, it took time for them to settle, but then they found their pattern of play, as Tony Boyle pointed out there. You know, we're seeing Brenton Devon here. And they struggled there. They needed an early point basically, and they gave away a couple of chances when they could have had them. But once they found their pattern of play, and Donegal, that's something that's evolved over the last sort of 10 years. They find their man, they wait for a man to get into position, they play it to him, and they're a perfect team actually to play a 14-man game.
Was 8-5 a fair reflection of the first half, Adrian?
Oh, indeed it was. You heard what Declan Bonner says. I'm sure Liam Austin was praying for the half-time whistle to come, and they'd like to have gone on for another 10 minutes, because Donegal at that stage seemed to have the bit between their teeth. It's what Liam Austin says there. Very difficult to play against 14. Both teams deserve a lot of praise. It was a great game of Gaelic football. It was hard, it was physical, it's what we expect in Gaelic football. And apart from a few incidents where maybe the referee may have taken stronger action, I'm not so sure, but it was marked by some fantastic scores out there too, Mark. We saw there was many chances. Fantastic things. Great game. Thoroughly enjoyable.
We're about to see one. I mean, what about Donegal in the second half? They seemed to step up again.
Donegal had an excellent second half, and when you marry the fact that they were 13-8 up at one stage and kicked 8 wides, it's quite conceivable they could have been probably maybe 10 points ahead instead of 5 when Cavan made their comeback. They shipped 4 points in a couple of minutes. Manus Boyle kicked 2 wonderful points here in the second half, and it really lifted the side, both of his left foot. And the way Donegal were playing the second half, it's hard to see how they let actually Cavan into the game. In fact, it was a rather stupid delaying tactic of the goalkeeper brought Cavan back into the match.
Yeah, what about that second half period by Cavan when they scored 4 points without reply? I mean, I thought it was game, set and match at that stage to Donegal, but tremendous fight back.
In all championship games, it's just the nature of them. There's going to be a period of dominance for a team that's on the rack, and Cavan had it and nearly pulled themselves back into it. I mean, as Brian says, it was a silly mistake. They gave away they gave a free 50 yards out that Ronan Carlin converted, and then they got that one. And you know, Donegal had the character, though. Donegal really pulled themselves back. They made an amazing save from Mark Crossan, and they got the ball up the field and scored the winner. But I mean, I think you have to say that I think Adrian's going on his holidays to Donegal. He's the superlative city for Donegal today.
He's been there before, by the way. That's a long story.
I think you have to say there about Cavan. Cavan are the defending Ulster champions. It's hard to defend your title. I thought today their speed of thought, they looked a wee bit tired. Liam talked about the fact that the team needed responsibility. It's so hard to go out there, listen, and retain your title, and maybe their speed of thought was a wee bit lacking compared to Donegal.
And what about that finish, as Paul mentioned there? I mean, Cavan from almost victory to defeat in 20 seconds.
Yes, it was an excellent save by Mark Crossan. It was a ball was floated in, and Larry Riley got a fist to it, number 11. Mark Crossan took it off the line, and Brian Roper, the smallest man by far on the pitch, travelled, I'd say, a good 50 yards. As you can see him here travelling, he beat off 2 or 3 Cavan challenges, went on and took the responsibility for the smallest man and kicked an excellent point with his right foot. But there were some great displays by Donegal, like John Gilday, Damien Divil, Noel Hegarty, Tony Boyle. It was a great all-round display by the Donegal side today.
Briefly, Paul, good enough to win the Ulster Championship in that performance?
I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. I think the stronger side of the draw is the other side. I think Armagh, a bit like I was at that game last year where Cavan played Donegal, and Cavan really seemed to have the bit between their teeth. They seemed to have everything, the whole county, they trained so hard, and I think Armagh are that team this year. I don't want to give them the kiss of death, whatever. It's going to be tough against Derry next week.
Sorry, lads. He's never sat on a fence in his life. From Clones to